Back in 2013, when Royal Enfield launched the Continental GT 535, they introduced the motorcycle to be smooth, fast and agile, and also to have a certain amount of panache. And boy did it look good, hell yes. However, it did just that. It was just a sophisticated trophy in the garage. On the roads, it was neither smooth nor fast or agile. But times change, and it did for Royal Enfield since they carefully crafted a mighty 650cc twin-cylinder motor, mated it to an even bigger frame and slapped on all the cafe racer elements back on it, making it the fastest motorcycle Royal Enfield had ever produced. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is adarsh.sarangi and today we are going to talk about the Royal Enfield Continental GT 650. And as Mr. Sagar Sheldekar rightfully said, this is what the GT should have always been. First things first, the design. The Royal Enfield Continental GT 650 draws inspirations from the typical British cafe racer motorcycle. It has been designed from scratch, starting from the frame which is even bigger than the older GT 535, of course to harness the mighty 650cc motor which is also developed from ground up. And as you see on any cafe racer motorcycle, the Continental GT 650 gets clip-on handlebars which add to the sporty stance of the motorcycle. Adding to the race spirit of the GT 650 are the rear set foot pegs which do facilitate the lean forward that you're looking for in the racier GT 650. And this aggressive posture makes you go berserk as soon as you swing your legs on the saddle. It gets a dual exhaust setup which is grunty and adds a lot of character to the GT 650. Apart from that, it also gets a dual analog instrument cluster which gives you a taste of a typical neo-retro motorcycle. Even with a dual exhaust setup, it gets a ground clearance of about 174 mm, which is more than you could ask for in the Indian road conditions. In terms of engine, it gets a 648cc twin-cylinder motor, which is also the one that the Interceptor 650 gets. And this motor churns out about 47 bhp of max power at 7,150 rpm and 52 Newton meters of max torque at 5,250 rpm. Out of which 42 Newton meters is available as low as 2500 rpm. The fueling is flawless and the on and off throttle transition is impeccable. This motorcycle, I tell you, the moment you go on the gas will bring out a huge smile on your face even on your worst days. Braking is taken care of by Biber. It gets a twin disc setup with dual channel ABS as standard. The feedback is superb in terms of bite, and this instills a lot of confidence when you are going real hard on the throttle. The ABS does its job pretty well. However, to my taste, I would prefer the ABS to be a little less intrusive as it kicks in quite early and effectively reduces the stopping distance. Suspension on the front is a 41mm telescopic suspension with 110mm of travel, and it gets a twin shocker system at the rear with 88mm of travel. The preload on the rear suspension is intentionally preset on the stiffer side because obviously while riding this motorcycle you would be tempted to see how it leans in corners. So switching from one side to another in corners takes very less effort, and your entry and exit out of a corner is clean. Adding to the feedback in the corners are the sticky tires from Pirelli which provide insane amount of traction. On the front it gets an 18-inch 100x90 profile, and on the rear it gets an 18-inch 130x70 profile setup. Kerb weight of the Royal Enfield Continental GT 650 is about 198 kgs, which is about 4 kgs less than the Interceptor because this one gets a 12.5 litre fuel tank instead of a 13.7 litre as on the Interceptor, and this one also loses out on a main stand. No doubt that the GT 650 is a fun machine to ride and I love it to the bits. However, this is the part where I talk about the things that I don't like on the GT 650, the things that bothered me during my stint with the GT 650. First and foremost, when you are going for a race-inspired motorcycle, you should keep in mind that the low position handlebar and the rear set foot pegs mean that you are going to feel a lot of weight while maneuvering the motorcycle, and that might be painful for everyday commute. But when you do find a good stretch of road, smile's all yours. Another thing that you need to know is that the fuel tank is narrow and it does feel very light to ride. However, with the aggressive stance, your knees would hover very close to the cylinder heads and you do feel the heat very prominently. Apart from that, a huge bow down to RE for keeping the spirits high and developing such beautiful motorcycles which make you feel proud if you own one. The Royal Enfield Continental GT 650 is priced at Rs 3.02 to 3.62 lakhs ex-showroom, which is spot on. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. That will be all about my first ride experience of the Royal Enfield Continental GT 650. Again, a huge thanks to all of you who found the content worthy and subscribed to my channel. We are a 1,000 strong family now. I hope you like this video too, and in that case you know what to do. Like, share and subscribe to my channel. In case of any queries or promotions, write to me on the below email ID or simply hit me up on Instagram. I'll see you soon with another video. Ciao.